Hello, welcome back to another Boleros podcast. So I'm here. We're complete today. Sorry, I was out last time, but thank you to Gab and Maui for covering for me. So we're complete today. I'm here with none other than Gab and Maui. Say hi, guys.
Hello, hello, hello.
Panalo!
Yeah, panalo, nice. Very good
Okay.
start, very good start.
Okay, naka-white and blue yung dalawa dito. Nanood ba kayong game? And nanood ba kayong live? Any of you watched live? Ako sa bahay lang.
Ako sa bahay lang. Had to go out, do some stuff for my wedding, and then watch at home. Thank you to Signal Play. Shout out to the 75 pesos I paid for the UAAP Varsity channel. Thank you for that. Lang kaya, nag-charge pa kayo ng 75, visit kayo.
YouTube na tayo, no?
Maui.
Nagagalang pa. Sa bahay lang ako ngayon. This season, probably,
Okay.
I'll still stay watching at home.
Okay, sige. So, kita nyo naman sa title, we're going to highlight the rivalry game, the game that we all just saw earlier. Recap of Ateneo-La Salle round 2. And then, we'll talk more about the other teams later on. Okay? So, don't worry dun sa mga fans of the other teams. We will talk about each team later on. I promise. Okay. Initial thoughts or recap ng Ateneo-La Salle round 2. Start us off, Gab. Or may questions ka ba for us?
Wala naman, just wanted to get some notes from each of us yung what did you observe. So, I do want to bring up, first point I do want to bring up, I think we got the Shaqtin of fool of the season from Kevin Quiambao. He did a Mick Penisi and he got a technical foul for it. So, Shaqtin of fool. But when I saw it in the replay, oh my god. He probably did get hurt. I mean,
Yeah. I think
he
so.
probably did get hurt. But it just looks so bad because he looked at the ref. Oh, there's no call. Oh, sige. Hulog na lang ako. It was so funny watching it on the replay, and you can hear the laugh or the cheer from the Ateneans in Araneta. It was really funny. That was one of my notes. Grab. Ewan ko kung natawa rin kayo. Ako, tawa ako doon kasi sobrang halata.
Tsaka, it happened to Dave twice, no? Na parang may two weird fouls siya. So like the second one was yung pinost up siya ni Phillips tapos natapilok na twist ni Phillips yung ankle niya on his own. Tapos, kala nila like siniko ni Dave or something. Kasi biglang nag-post si Phillips tapos biglang nag-crumble siya eh. So, akala ko nga din like, sabi ko, ano ba tong si Dave? Naniko na naman or something. Yung pala natapilok lang. So, hopefully okay din si Phillips. But I feel like yung kay Quiambao, I think he got hurt. Like alam naman natin, diba? Like we always call out yung braso ni Dave ay bato, diba? Like sobrang laki at sobrang solid. So I think na yung onting bump na ganun ni Dave, for him na onting bump sa atin medyo sobrang sakit siguro. So I'll give Quiambao the benefit of the doubt. I think tama ka, Gab. It's just the late reaction eh, 'di ba? Dapat
the very late reaction.
Crumble. That nag-crumble na siya agad eh. So 'yun.
So if if people are not familiar with the Mick Penisi reference, I think you have to look at it on YouTube. That he was the ball was thrown to his head, and then he looked at the guy, and then he flopped. He got after 2 seconds, and that thing at Kevin Quiambao did sobrang
that went viral worldwide.
Maui.
Oh, best flop ever.
Yeah, best flop ever. General thoughts on the
Was
game.
Was featured in Shaqtin a Fool in the US, I think.
Pati Bleacher Report na ito at sa Boleros Live featured that Mick Penisi play. General thoughts sa game. I think Ateneo made a statement game kanina. They started the game flat, but nung third quarter they really turned the corner, and I think they played their best quarter for the season. Uh, Chris Kuhn also found his groove finally. He was shooting I think 18% sa 3-point line. That's a big discrepancy from season 84 when he shot 40% from three. I think one of our comments before was why is Ateneo using Kuhn as a ball handler this season? And adjustments in the second round, I think they've been playing two guard lineups with Kuhn right now and playing to his strengths, and finally it paid off kanina. He hit 3 or 4 3 pointers, and finally Ateneo got a contribution from the bench. Ateneo's bench has been, I think, horrendous is an understatement, and inconsistent this season. The starters have been doing well, but yun yung big thing talaga with Ateneo this year, which is why they're not that so dominant. Yung depth nung lineup and specifically nung bench has not been that great. Yun.
And a good note about the bench. I think what you saw from the game a while ago was Tab Baldwin thinning, limiting the rotation to I think 8 or 9 guys, and I think that's the rotation you're gonna see if ever they make the Final Four or the finals. So you have obviously Josh Lazaro and Gio Chu relieving Kai Balungay and Ange Kwame in the front court. Then you have Gab Gomez relieving Fortsky. Then Chris Kuhn uh, relieving Dave or BJ in the wings. And I think that's it. Did I forget anyone that they played? I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. I
Did they
think
play
they played
anyone
9
else?
players. I think the general
Yeah, and then
yeah.
and
Go
then just Coach Tab gives some short rest to Fortsky and then brings him back in, just staggers the starters with those 4 bench players. Just to have some stabilizers there, just to keep the offense going. Uh, I saw a lot of people hate on Dave because he didn't really get a lot of shots to go in, despite being the guy. The Tab Baldwin offense always, when nothing is happening, they always go to a player who can create his own shot, and in some lineups that's usually Dave, and his handle is not that tight that he can create for himself that efficiently yet. Well, he hasn't done it in 2 years, so it's easy to hate on Dave because he misses a lot of shots. He takes a lot of difficult shots, those step back threes. But I think he has to without Fortsky on the floor. So it's basically that's just the two of them. But yeah, that was the rotation. I think that's the rotation you're gonna see in bigger games to round out the season. Sam?
I think you guys pretty much covered everything. Kudos to LaSalle. They fought nung first half. I think medyo naiwan lang sila nung third quarter. They even made a mini run nung fourth quarter. Syempre yung usual LaSalle defense is what sort of helped them get back. I think they really miss like Shawnee
Johnny
Winston
Winston.
and his scoring talaga kasi nakita niyo naman nagka-dry spell yung LaSalle, and the defense is there and sometimes actually I guess like yung they struggle with the offense, which is the same issue that they had last year, di ba? I think napag-usapan na natin yun, Gab, dun sa preview episode natin. Sabi natin, the LaSalle defense is always there. The Pumarin defense is always there. It's the offense, diba? It's the playmaking and the offense that's not consistent for LaSalle, especially ngayong walang Shawnee Winston. For Ateneo naman, better showing versus NU. Medyo kinabahan pa rin ako nung first half and also nung fourth quarter when they made that run. Ang comment ko lang, I still feel like Ateneo, the problem with Ateneo is sometimes they get really careless with the ball and they have unnecessary turnovers or hirap din talaga sila magbaba ng bola. And I think that's what sort of kills them sometimes or kills the momentum. Either they start slow or nahabol sila because of those things. Even dating back to the NU game. Sorry, I wasn't there. So, I'm sure you talked about yung inbounds play nina Andrade. Yung mga ganon. And I think the whole game sa NU, puro turnovers talaga. So, still saw flashes of moments wherein sloppy or maraming turnovers. So, hopefully they work on that and tighten that for the rest of the season.
So we've been talking
Hello,
a lot
Bam.
about,
Yeah.
yeah, hello, hello. So we've been talking a lot about Ateneo. I do want to go to the LaSalle side. Uh, a better game from Joaquin Manuel. If you didn't watch the previous
The vet.
episode, Maui and I shit a lot on Joaquin Manuel because he made just really dumb plays to lose that game against FEU. But on the LaSalle side, I don't think they're gonna make the final four. They're now 3-6.
6.
Are they 3-6?
3-6.
They are, diba?
Number
Three
6 na.
six. Yeah, so they're 3-6. They have a very tough schedule remaining. They still have to play against UP and they have to play against NU. Tama ba?
NU.
Still have to play against NU. So I don't. I think you could scrap them off for the final four race. They're not gonna beat UP unless they get their act together. Suddenly against UP, I don't think they're gonna beat UP. I also don't think they're gonna beat NU. NU is playing uh, really great basketball right now. So what are you looking forward to, Sam and Maui, for LaSalle in the upcoming games? Just because I don't think they're gonna make the final four. They're gonna try, but I don't think so.
I think
So what do
Sonny
you want to see? Oh, yes.
Winston coming back is siyempre number one priority ng LaSalle. I think LaSalle really struggled this year to make up its identity. Nung off-season kasi very very clear yung roles ng players. CJ Austria was the primary off-ball player. I think during the PBA D-League he averaged around 11 to 13 points a game. And that's clearly missing right now. I think Quiambao is now the second leading scorer at around 12 a game. Evanelli has missed, we mentioned this previously, Evanelli has missed 2 to 3 games because of suspension. Now si Phillips also has missed, I think, two games, I think, and Winston just missed 2 games. So LaSalle has not had that consistent rotation. Hopefully they find their stride. I think right now, I don't know, parang planning na siguro for the coming season. But I think Shawnee Winston, this is his last playing year. But I think one of the main things that they have to work on is yung chemistry talaga ni Mike Phillips and Kevin Quiambao. You rarely see them play games na parehas silang going off. There are times that the chemistry looks great from some of the drop passes and flashy passes of Quiambao. But I think they really have to try to start on working on season 86 right now. 3-9 and they have to face the top two teams, UP and NU. It's not looking good, especially since their best player, the MVP frontrunners, still hurt. So hopefully the UAP breaks for I think at least 9 days for all teams. Hopefully Shawnee Winston gets healthy and they find their stride. We as fans want, siyempre, we've been championing yung competition between all teams. So very happy kami doon. Yun.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Mao. Hindi lang si Shani but I think for me, for this season, I just want LaSalle to be healthy. And since tapos na tayo with LaSalle, pwede na silang gumaling ulit. Just to make things competitive. So I just want to see a healthy and complete LaSalle lineup. Pero more importantly, I think Mao mentioned this. I agree na, you know, 3 and 6 ka, might as well just, get ready for next season and play the young guys. See what the young guys can do and develop them. I really want to see more of si Raven Cortez, honestly. Like, I want to see him play more. Kasi he was so impressive against Ateneo nung first round. I know injured ba siya kasi, di ba, parang he was out of the lineup din. So, hopefully maging healthy sila. I want to see more of Cortez, Abadam, all the other young guys. I think may talent sila eh. Marami silang young guys eh. So, I mean, walang mawawala sa kanila. If 3 and 6, they won't make the Final Four. Might as well get the young guys some minutes and develop yung, tama si Maui, develop their chemistry. Not just the stars, si Quiambao and Phillips, but like, even the young guys. Kasi I think very promising pa rin yung LaSalle. I mean, Mike Phillips is only on his second year. Quiambao is only on his first year. So, hindi naman, I mean, they're gonna lose an MVP candidate, Shawnee Winston, but I'm sure they'll find great talent then to fill in the void. So yun lang for me for LaSalle.
I do want to pick up on what Maui said about Kevin Quiambao and Michael Phillips. I think that's one of the weak points that Coach Derek Pumaren has uh, shown in his system. He essentially plays two bigs most of the time, right? It's either Nwanko or Mike Phillips, or it's Kevin Quiambao and Mike Phillips. And let's be honest, Mike Phillips and Kevin Quiambao is better than Nwanko and Mike Phillips, because Nwanko is very limited offensively. He's not that great. Well, he's an okay defender. He protects the rim. But ang problem is they run post-ups for Mike Phillips sometimes, and I don't get why, because he doesn't have those moves. I don't get why you run post-ups for Mike Phillips. And when you run post-ups for Kevin Quiambao, you have Mike Phillips there in the lane. So Kevin Quiambao, when he gets to the bucket, he's the next person he's faced with is a big man. It's either gonna be Ange Kwame, Gio, or if it's other teams, it's Omar John. So he's trapped. Uh, I want to see. I know Sam is a big fan of Kevin O'Connor in the Mismatch podcast, and he always preaches that if you're gonna play two big lineups, try to experiment with big to big pick and rolls, or maybe some high-low plays, lobs from big to big, like what the Cleveland Cavaliers do with Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. Kasi ang napansin ko lang kanina, sobrang sikip nila sa loob. They had so many plays run through Kevin Quiambao, only for him to drop it off to a big man, whether it's Nwanko or Phillips, and just get blocked. Because, yun nga, it's so tight inside. So, ang daling makarecover ng mga big men, ang daling yung maka-double, yung maka-zoom in, sobrang sikip sa loob. And, I don't know, if your big man is Mike Phillips, I think he has to be more of a screen and roll guy. You don't run post-ups for him. He doesn't have those kind of moves. And surround him with just shooting. There's a ton of shooters on this team. Derek Pumaren, but he plays two big guys na nagka-clog ng paint. I don't know. Yun yung one observation ko. Their struggles on the offensive end. Next to Ange Kwame, Mike Phillips not that big, so he struggles to get his shot off against Ange. Yun lang. That's one of my observations. They have a hard time generating offense with two bigs on the floor.
Tsaka to add lang dun sa sinabi ni Gab, running plays for Mike Phillips, I also don't know why they do it. Yung main strength ni Mike Phillips, as we all know, is yung motor niya. When you run a post up for Mike Phillips, you're losing the main strength, which is the motor. which is to grab offensive rebounds, and set up screens, and basically be a roll man, and the pass guy. So parang, I don't know, probably it's also a byproduct of Winston not being there and them not having options aside from Evanelli and Quiambao creating. But Mike Phillips probably had his worst game of the season a while ago against Ange Kwame. And I think Gab pretty much summed it up that the lane was too clogged.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's just me, or is this kind of Derek Pomaran's an old school coach kind of guy? Surround plays two bigs always. I mean, we saw Kevin Quiambao in Gilas play the three for some time. He can play the perimeter. Diba? He doesn't have to be a big traditional big guy who post ups, does post ups or goes to the high post. He can, if I'm gonna be wanky about it, he can go in the perimeter. You treat him like your point guard. He can do that. I think you can develop that. We talked about yung diba, si Carl Tamayo. You can play him on the perimeter. You don't have to post him up, although he's pretty good at posting up. But you can do things with Carl and Kevin Quiambao. They're tall guys who have guard skills, diba? Same
I
thing
think,
last year with Justin Baltazar.
yeah,
They could have run more creative offense around those guys. They're pretty skilled. Sayang naman.
that's true. I think it's also a byproduct of the LaSalle lineup. To me, they lack that knockdown shooter. I think that's the reason why Joaquin Manuel still continues to get minutes, and even Ben Phillips started a few games for LaSalle because he expanded this game to the 3-point line. But sayang kasi naging disadvantage yung having three big players that they can rotate. Should have been a big advantage sa UAAP. Big man is not prominent, or not everyone has many bigs in the UAAP. Kita mo naman sa UST pag wala yung FSA nila, and even UE doesn't have an FSA. They're playing Gani Stevens. So sayang na hindi nila nagamit yung advantage. Parang to a T, naging disadvantage pa siya to their offensive game.
Sam, anything you want to add?
Yun lang naman din. Wala na rin akong other point. I think to your point lang din, Gab, nakita na natin na naging successful si Pumarin with like less talented team eh. Like I remember he coached CEU. They were overachieving sa CEU. So with Diouf yung center nila. So I think kaya naman eh. Kaya naman ni Pumarin. Syempre experienced coach na yan. So honestly, like I don't know what's wrong with LaSalle, but I mean, to your point, Pumarin should also take blame for their current standing. Pero I mean, yun nga, I think we talked about this at the very start, Gab. We both agreed na LaSalle this year looks like a more talented team than last season, but it's not translating to actual wins. Yun lang. Hopefully lumaban pa sila. We'll see.
The decision to continue to play Joaquin Manuel just befuddles me. Why keep on playing Waki? Kakainis talaga siya. Remember, he scored his first bucket and flexed to the, I don't know if you saw it, he flexed to the Ateneo crowd.
Baka may mga friends siya doon. Ikaw naman, oh. Baka may mga friends siya doon.
Tapos yung bantay niya yung former teammate niya si Dave, bro. Yung bantay mo sa arms for days. You're a chubby guy. You don't flex like that, bro.
Lagi silang nag-aasaran, di ba? Si Dave Johnson.
They're batchmates, and I think they're kind of good friends too. But it's annoying, man. It's like the first quarter, bro. Or first or second quarter. You're barely up, and you're flexing to the Ateneo crowd. Oh, come on, bro.
I'll give him that. OA ka.
Anyway, I'm just so annoyed with him. I've been annoyed with him since last season. No?